This is the Daily Roundup on the EAC Cambodia channel. A very good evening to you. I'm Andrew Barnes-Roberts. Making headlines tonight. Amid concerns about the efficacy of Chinese vaccines, the Health Ministry changes the gap between shots from 14 to 21 days. Government lays out its plan for broad-ranging action against online child sex predators. And US Secretary of State Antony Blinken urges ASEAN to take strong action against Myanmar at Wednesday's special meeting of foreign ministers. Amid increasing concerns about just how effective Sinovac and Sinopharm are, the Health Ministry has increased the dose interval from 14 to 21 days. The additional 7-day gap between shots is believed to increase Sinovac's efficacy from just above 50% to 79%. It's a similar improvement for Sinopharm. Just what this means for Phnom Penh, where the vast majority of residents have already been vaccinated at the minimum recommended interval of 14 days, no one is saying. But recent events in the capital could well be behind the Health Ministry's decision. We have a fully vaccinated Phnom Penh. 99.2% of its residents have had at least one shot. Over 75% have had two. That should mean the capital has achieved herd immunity, but it hasn't. Markets are being closed every week, just this week in Rasai Kiau and Riverside. Almost every day there are alerts about COVID-19 positive people having visited banks and shops. City Hall concedes there are still between 200 and 300 new cases a day. And now we can understand why. 14 days between doses of Sinopharm and Sinovac are the absolute recommended minimum by the World Health Organization and the vaccine manufacturers themselves. Research data about the Chinese vaccines varies wildly, but mass studies in Brazil and Chile both came to similar conclusions earlier this year. The University of Chile and Brazil's state-owned Butantan Institute found that 14 days between shots of Sinovac resulted in just over 50% protection, the minimum standard for a vaccine as set by the WHO. Increasing the time between doses to 21 days lifted that rate to somewhere between 65 and 79%, with 100% protection against hospitalization and death. The royal government says it is 51% of the way to reaching its target of vaccinating 10 million adults by the third quarter. But those 5.1 million people have had only one shot. In terms of fully vaccinated people, that's just over 39%. And all of those people have had dose intervals of 14 days. The Health Ministry says all future administrations of Chinese vaccines will now be given at 21-day intervals, and the instruction is effective immediately. But it means the capital will remain vulnerable to sporadic outbreaks as long as people are not observing the preventative measures. Herd immunity will not be enjoyed in Phnom Penh until herd immunity has been achieved across the entire country. Cambodia's COVID-19 death toll is fast approaching the 1,000 mark. 33 new deaths have been reported overnight, taking the total number of fatalities to 986. 915 new cases were reported by the Health Ministry on Wednesday afternoon. These include 257 imported cases. With the Health Ministry not releasing nationalities, it is believed these imported cases are migrant workers returning from Thailand and Vietnam. The land borders with Vietnam have now been closed to all Vietnamese nationals for the next 30 days. The total number of imported cases now stands at 5,347. The country's total case count has climbed to 63,315. At 915, the new cases are outpacing recoveries once again. 876 patients were discharged overnight, taking the number of patients treated successfully to 55,365. The royal government, along with international NGOs and UNICEF, has launched an action plan to prevent the online sexual exploitation of children in the kingdom. The plan was unveiled at a virtual event on Wednesday morning. Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of the Interior, Mr. Sa Keng, says online sexual exploitation of minors has become an emerging challenge during the pandemic. He's now calling on relevant authorities and civil society to cooperate in preventing it. EAC news reporter Reo Soko has the story.
The international NGO Thedailyroundup Netherlands has reported that online child protection in Cambodia is a major challenge. Its country representative, Ms. Zoe De Mello, says that many Cambodian children under the age of 13 are using social media more than ever before.
Since the first COVID outbreak 1.5 years ago now, the time spent online by Cambodian children has increased even more. Online and distance learning has been a great alternative for some children to continue their education in very difficult times. But the evidence shows that most of the children remain largely unsupervised by their caregivers or by another adult who have very little awareness of the risks of being active online.
The Action Plan to Prevent and Respond to Online Child Sexual Exploitation 2021 to 2025 contains the basic rights of children and strategic goals to protect them online. UNICEF Cambodia Deputy Representative Mr. Hala Abdel Wahab says that school closures due to the pandemic have increased the access children have to the internet, often without proper supervision. He says this increases the risks of children's sexual exploitation in the forms of pictures and videos. Interior Minister Mr. Sar Keng has called for more awareness for parents and guardians about the dangers children are exposed to online. He has also urged the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications to strictly regulate internet service providers and develop child protection policies responsive to image content and pornographic material. Mr. Keng has also encouraged the Ministry of Social Affairs, Veterans, and Youth Rehabilitation to continue promoting social services, especially counseling to vulnerable children about online crimes. Rhea Soko, EAC News.
ASEAN has been urged to take strong action against Myanmar. U.S. Secretary of State Mr. Antony Blinken made the call during Wednesday's special ASEAN-U.S. Foreign Ministers meeting hosted virtually by Laos. Cambodia's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Prak Sokhonn, was also in attendance.
The U.S. Secretary of State expressed deep concerns about the military coup in Myanmar. Mr. Antony Blinken says he supports ASEAN's 5-point consensus, but those 5 points need action, namely, end the violence, initiate political dialogue, appoint a special envoy to facilitate mediation, provide humanitarian assistance, and send a delegation to the country to meet with its leaders. Malaysia's Foreign Minister, Mr. Hisamuddin Hussein, welcomed Blinken's support, telling the meeting that he hoped it signaled a refreshed commitment to U.S. multilateral cooperation in the region. He says this is the only way forward to ensure stability, peace, prosperity, and security within Southeast Asia. Cambodia's Foreign Minister, Mr. Prak Sokhonn, echoed those sentiments, emphasizing the importance of continued efforts to promote and protect human rights and democracy, while pointing out the need to recognize that no one size fits all. On Myanmar, he says the country's stability is indispensable to that of the region as well as to the ASEAN community building.
After the break, we'll take a look at your sports news and lifestyle with Alessio Mizzoni. EAC News fully supports the Royal Government of Cambodia's preventative and administrative measures against COVID-19. But we need you to play your part in helping bring the 20 February community transmission event to an end. Wash your hands regularly, sanitize wherever possible. Keep an eye on your body temperature. Use the Stop COVID QR code and maintain a safe social distance. But above all, please, 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 wear a mask. Only together can we beat COVID-19.
EARTS Cambodia's audience is growing. Our YouTube channel now has 150,000 verified subscribers. To mark the milestone, we've received the Silver Creator Award from YouTube, given to channels with over 100,000 subscribers. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki says the award celebrates EARTS Cambodia's hard work and incredible achievement. She says not only has EARTS Cambodia brought a unique voice and style to the world, but has also created valuable connections and built a community along the way. The next milestone we're going for is 1 million subscribers, and we'd really like that Gold Creator Award. So if you're not already a subscriber, head to www.youtube.com/EARTS Cambodia. Subscribers get all the latest breaking news and updates from Cambodia in English. We'll see you there.
If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of EARTS Cambodia's platforms and channels. YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eartscambodia.com. Join me, Andrew Barnes-Roberts, and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
Welcome back to the Daily Roundup. Some good news for Cambodian sports fans. According to the Cambodia Gymnastic Federation, 2 Cambodian gymnasts took second place in the 6th Korean Open aerobic competition at the weekend. The young Cambodian gymnasts are Han Sokor and Mo Saripov, taking second place on the podium in their age group. South Korea and Japan filled up the podium, ending first and third respectively. 31 countries and more than 500 athletes participated at the International Gymnastics event, with the finals being staged virtually at Seoul last Saturday and Sunday. The teams had to submit videos of their performances before the 20th of June for the judges to score them. Let's just hope it's not too long before athletes can get back to performing in front of actual crowds. Sadly, that won't be at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, with all spectators still banned from the Games, which get underway on Friday the 23rd of July. Apple is scheduled to release its long-awaited iPhone 13 in September, but as ever its design appears to be the tech world's worst kept secret. Leaked details have already sprung its competitors into action, meaning Apple might not be the best bite for you when you're next looking for a phone camera. Apple looks more likely than ever to implement a significant hardware upgrade in this year's flagship iPhones. The product line will stick to the same 4-device lineup: iPhone 13, iPhone 13 mini, Pro version and the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The notch at the top of the display is expected to be smaller, but the big change is the display, with Apple's long-rumored shift to 120Hz Pro Motion. But the competition is moving fast. Samsung's upcoming Galaxy Z Fold 3 foldable smartphone might also have a 16-megapixel under-display camera. Reviews are already claiming that the Samsung 21 Ultra has better camera than the latest iPhone. Google Pixel 6 could also receive 5 years of Android software updates, with warranty always being one of Apple's strengths. And with its AI technology, Google is looking to build its market share. The big question is, though, whether these improvements will be enough for Apple users to kick the habit and switch to Android. Stay with us now for tomorrow's weather.
Thank you for watching the Daily Roundup here on the eArts Cambodia channel. You'll get more breaking news and updates on our website. Head to www.e-artscambodia.com. You could also subscribe to our Telegram channel, EAC News. More from the EAC News team tomorrow night at 8. I'll see you then.